Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So the topic that I am going to be discussing today shocked me, and there are no other words to describe it. I had an article suggested to me this morning through my Google homepage which was entitled "English Judge Says Man Having Sex with Wife is Fundamental Right." And at first I was thinking, what on earth is that about? And then when I looked into it, well, I was more than shocked. So first of all, this actually happened in a London court here in the UK, and long story short, a judge named Mr. Justice Hayden made a controversial remark during court. Inside the Court of Protection, a case was taking place in which a court order was being considered to prevent a man from having sexual intercourse with his wife because she may no longer be able to give her consent. Now, to be quite honest, I was not exactly 100% sure what the Court of Protection was, but the article did clear that up for me, stating that the court is there to, quote, consider cases where people lack the mental capacity to make their own decisions, end quote. Now, the wife involved in this case has learning difficulties. What kind of learning difficulties, it was not disclosed. And these learning difficulties have and will deteriorate. The article continued to suggest that there was actually evidence to back up the claims that the wife has unfortunately lost the mental capacity to make decisions and would not be able to give her consent to sex. Lawyers involved in the case made a suggestion to the judge that the man in question may have to be stopped completely from having sex with his wife. It's interesting to note here that the man, who was not actually named within the article, did say that he would willingly give up the sexual part of his relationship with his wife because of her conditions. However, the judge deemed this completely unnecessary, one of the reasons being that that kind of ban would be incredibly difficult to keep track of. So what happened next? Well, Judge Hayden explained to the gentleman and everybody in the courts that, quote, I cannot think of any more obviously fundamental human right than the right of a man to have sex with his wife and the right of the state to monitor that. I think he is entitled to have it properly argued, end quote. Which is very interesting, and it kind of made me think the second I read that, what would it have been like if it was the other way around? I mean, would his ruling have been the same? Who knows? But then the ruling was actually picked up by the Labour MP from Bristol West, who said in a tweet, quote, this legitimises misogyny and women hatred. No man in the UK has such a legal right to insist on sex. No consent equals rape, end quote. The case is due to continue over the next few months, but personally for me, this article was not long enough and I would love to have, known more information, but I understand that certain personal things like names of those involved were not shared for whatever reason. And to be honest as well, I would like to have known a little bit more about the learning difficulties of the wife. But then of course when you look at it from a different perspective, I understand why those details have not been released. It's all about trying to protect this woman who has obviously, unfortunately, lost her mental capacity to do just the basic things in life like make decisions. And so it's all about trying to protect her, and I understand that, but I would have liked to have known a little bit more. It's going to be very interesting to see how this all unfolds, and it is very early days and there's not too much information on the case right now, but I will leave the article in the description box down below, which was written by The Guardian, so if you want to go and check it out, give it a read. I definitely believe that if the woman cannot give her consent, then it's rape. Like, as an example, if that was my partner and they had difficulties and they just physically could not give any kind of consent or anything to me, I could not physically have sex with them, because I know that they are not fully aware of what is going on. They are vulnerable and exposed. And any case that I come across like this, similar to this, it just makes me think about that poor person who is, like I said, vulnerable, exposed, who is, or who can be, taken advantage of so easily. And the fact of the matter is, I don't understand why the judge is so, like, against it, when the husband has clearly said that he is willing to give up the sexual part of his relationship in order to protect his wife. I mean, this husband and wife have been together for 20 years, so it's not as if they've been together like 5 minutes or anything, you know? And I would presume that they know each other quite well. And do you know what? Hats off to this guy who has said, look, I'm going to give up that part of my relationship just to protect my wife, who has learning disabilities and learning difficulties and can't physically consent to sex. And yeah, they're husband and wife, but that doesn't defeat the object of, you know, if she's not okay with it, then it's rape, you know? I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's just my thoughts on the situation. Let me know what you think on this in the comment section down below. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you are new here, click on that subscribe button. It would be much appreciated. And I hope to see you in my next video.